Carlos Dunlap. So in a recent interview with Forbes, Dunlap spoke on his football playing future and whether a return to the Chiefs remained a possibility. After getting a taste of postseason success in Kansas City during the 2022 season, Dunlap is convinced that he can still help an NFL team win a Super Bowl title. In the interview, he said, quote, "I can help another team get one of their own or help the Chiefs again. The Chiefs haven't ruled that out, but currently it's a waiting game." So big thing for me is that I wanted to ask you specifically the last sentence of this. The Chiefs haven't ruled that out, but it's currently a waiting game. We talked about last year that the Chiefs weren't going to sign an edge until training camp was pretty much going on because guys, older guys like this Dunlap, who was that guy last year, don't want to be hanging around doing the other stuff until when it's time to play. Dunlap already went through that with the Chiefs. When he says the Chiefs haven't ruled that out, but currently it's a waiting game, is it a waiting game from the Chiefs' point of view? Because talking about from player speak, what's he saying right here? Is he saying I'm waiting to get a better offer, or I'm waiting from the Kansas City because they may have already offered me something, but I'm waiting to get a better one, or it's a waiting game as far as do they want him? What do you think that means when you decipher through that?
It's almost like we were talking about what happens, during training camp and how guys get signed later on. And so he knows that sometimes you got to feel what you're going to have on the team. And, mini camp and a little bit of, the OTAs is not going to show you everything. They're not going to show you who everybody has. And then sometimes guys get hurt. Sometimes you realize it's just not a good fit. And if teams are looking for a guy that can come in who, he had a decent year last year, he contributed, I think, effectively for our defense. He had 39 combined tackles. I think he had 4 sacks. He had some pressures, 12 hits, I think, on the quarterback. So Dunlap is a guy that's been around for a long time. His leadership, his experience is going to help out anybody. And I think, like you said, it's a waiting game. So the waiting game goes into, training camp is coming up. He's got some time to sign with a team. Sometimes teams don't necessarily know what they need until they get into training camp saying, do we want to go with this, roster during the season? Are these guys good enough to carry into the season? Is this guy going to get some playing time? Can we get somebody off the street like a Carlos Dunlap that's going to come in and add something to what we're doing? And maybe another young guy, put him on a practice squad or whatever to develop him a little bit later. And so that's what he means as far as like it being a waiting game. That's pretty much what it is. Right now, I'm looking at the Chiefs roster, defensive end wise. They got some guys. There's some numbers there. And so you're thinking about if a team is carrying defensive ends, how many can carry for the season? That's going to be the question. And the thing is Carlos Dunlap better than the guys that they're carrying and what they have? And so, look, we know we got a first-round pick who is going to be a tremendous help to what we do. I think he's going to be a wonderful talent who's going to develop into becoming a very, very good player for us. Then we got George, obviously, the animal, Kalafkis, still doing damage. He's going to get better than he did last year. And then, we have also, too, Mike Dannon. We have, I'm trying to think who else we have on there. A Minahu. Yeah, the Minahu. Yeah, that's going, woo. That's going to be a guy that I think is going to help out a whole lot. I think he's going to be really, really good for us. And so, we got a young guy, B.J. Thompson, that we got from Stephen F. Austin, he's a pass rush specialist. Get him stronger, get him out there, develop. He may be like one of those young guys you want to develop a little bit later. But I think this is what, when you start looking at the numbers and the guys that you have on teams, you have 32 teams that's evaluating right now. It's going to be like they're doing training camp. So it is that wait and see. That's what it means is like I said before, just the ideal time when guys start to get signed.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.